It may surprise or even shock you to hear what I'm about to say, but if you're seeing this video right now, it's no accident. Perhaps you felt stuck for far too long, like you've been left behind in a life that hardly reflects the dreams you once had. But deep down, something in you has refused to give up, reminding you that there's a greater plan waiting to unfold. That's no coincidence. You are a chosen one, and the moment you've been praying for is on the horizon. An international opportunity that will shift your path in ways you never saw coming. If this resonates with you, please like, subscribe, and comment 77 feet below to signal that you're ready for this transformation. Chapter 1. The moment you realized something was off. There was a time in childhood when every possibility sparkled like a fresh sunrise. You remember how easy it was to dream back then, to believe that life could go any way you wished, as though you had a golden ticket to a grand adventure. Yet as you got older, the world's expectations began to close in. You started hearing words like realistic and practical, and slowly those words chipped away at your sense of wonder. You might have taken on jobs that didn't excite you, settled for relationships that didn't uplift you, or let your goals fade into the background as bills and obligations piled up. Still, beneath that surface routine, you felt an inner tug. It showed up in your quietest moments, an unmistakable whisper urging you to keep believing that a greater calling was out there. You might have tried to rationalize it away. After all, life teaches us to put our childlike hopes aside for the real world. But no matter how far you drifted from those early visions, the longing to live a life of purpose never fully disappeared. For the chosen ones, this longing is not just an idle daydream. It's a sign that your path was never meant to be mundane. Like a seed buried under layers of dirt, your destiny has been quietly growing, waiting for the right condition to break through and flourish. While others might scoff at the notion of a divine blueprint, you've always sensed there was something bigger orchestrating your life events, some invisible thread linking your experiences together. Though you may have doubted yourself, your intuition kept nudging you forward, urging you to stay curious and look for openings. That same nudge has brought you here, to these words. It's a signal that you're on the edge of a new chapter, a piece of news, an email, a sudden invitation. Any of these could be the catalyst that propels you into a reality where your once distant dreams become tangible. This is not about blind optimism. It's about recognizing that if such a calling has lived in your heart this long, it's here for a reason. Wherever you stand right now, remember, you're not stuck. Even if life so far hasn't matched your original vision, that vision has been waiting for you to rediscover it, to brush off the dust of doubt, and to recognize it for the treasure it truly is. This is the moment you acknowledge that your sense of restlessness was actually a divine echo, guiding you toward an opportunity that spans beyond borders, an opportunity tailor-made for a chosen one like you. Chapter 2. A door opens across the sea. The first sign of this unexpected opportunity might come from some place completely outside your usual sphere. Maybe you stumble upon an article about a foreign startup seeking talent in your field. Perhaps an old friend living overseas suddenly reaches out with an enticing proposal, or you notice a job listing that seems too good to be true. A role that requires travel or offers a chance to work remotely with people from around the world. If you're a chosen one, these openings aren't coincidences. They're gentle taps on the shoulder from a guiding hand. At first, you may hesitate. It's only natural to question whether you're qualified or if you're simply chasing another fantasy. You might worry about finances, about uprooting your life, or about what family and friends might say. Yet the more you think about it, the more this international door seems to glow with promise. There's a part of your heart that leaps at the thought of stepping into new territory, of embracing a journey that is so much bigger than your current routine. This moment can feel surreal. You wrestle with a blend of excitement and nerves, wondering if you should be more responsible than to chase such a chance. But for the chosen ones, responsibility doesn't always mean staying put. Sometimes the most responsible thing you can do is answer the call that your spirit has been waiting for. The world is vast, and just maybe, your corner of it is about to expand in ways you never imagined. As you edge closer to this open door, remain attentive to how life responds. People you never expected might come forward with resources or advice. New acquaintances could pop up, each adding a piece to your puzzle, like a supportive coworker who's traveled extensively, or a neighbor who has contacts in that field. You'll notice that as soon as you take one small step in faith, the universe meets you with two steps, revealing little synchronicities that prove you're on the right track. You might even encounter obstacles, a sudden expense, disapproving voices, or logistical red tape. See these not as signs to turn back, but as subtle tests of your conviction. In spiritual terms, whenever you're close to breakthrough, life often checks to see if you're truly committed. If you push through with courage, that door across the sea will swing wider, leading you down a path you might have only dreamed about as a child: the chance to earn a better living, to grow creatively, to meet mentors or allies who see your potential. All of this awaits on the other side. The question is, are you willing to walk through? Chapter 3. Overcoming your past disappointments. Before you fully embrace this international shift, there's a lingering voice reminding you of every time you've been let down. Maybe you've tried to seize new opportunities in the past, only to watch them fall apart. Perhaps you took a chance on a promising project that led to a dead end, or a relationship that left you uncertain about your own judgment. These disappointments can stick to your heart like heavy weights, making you question if you can handle another risk. But consider this: you are not the same person you were when those disappointments happen. Every setback has chipped away at your doubts and forced you to develop resilience. You've learned to spot red flags, to rely on intuition, and to trust. And not everything you lose is a loss. Every time you rebounded from heartbreak or financial stress or shattered dreams, you gained wisdom that can now guide you to your breakthrough. For a chosen one, obstacles serve a greater purpose. They refine you, shaping you into someone capable of recognizing and holding on to real opportunities when they arrive. Remember how your earlier experiences taught you to observe more closely, to dig deeper for the truth, and to be mindful of who you let into your circle. All these lessons are coming full circle as you stand on the brink of a transformation that will demand your best self. It's natural to feel an inner tug of war, one side urging you to remain cautious, another side lit up with anticipation. In these moments, remember that fear only has the power you grant it. The divine spark in you is stronger than any ghost from the past. Yes, disappointment is painful, but a life lived in constant retreat from potential pain is far more draining. You might miss out on an encounter, a partnership, or a creative spark that could shift your world in unimaginable ways. If you're truly honest with yourself, you sense that this new opportunity is different. Maybe it's the clarity of the message or the way the possibility aligns with your gifts. Perhaps it's the sheer timing. Just when you were considering a change, out of nowhere, you see a post or get a message that speaks directly to your soul. This is not a random alignment of events. It's a carefully orchestrated cue from the universe, beckoning you to trust your instincts. Use the strength you've gained from past hurts to fuel this new venture, not sabotage it. Any negativity that arises can be transmuted into determination. If you dare to believe that God or the universe is opening a door specifically for you, then you must also believe you're worthy to walk through it. Take each lesson from your past and fold it into your present decisions. Let them shield you against naive optimism while still allowing you to hope. This is how you step forward with both wisdom and courage, ready to receive the gift that's been waiting for you all along. Chapter 4. Mysterious Signs and Divine Wigs. One of the most intriguing parts of the journey toward your international breakthrough is the sudden flurry of signs that seem to appear out of nowhere. You might see a random ad about a distant city multiple times in a week, or open your inbox to find an email from a company based exactly where you've been dreaming of going. A friend might casually mention a remote job opening that aligns perfectly with your skill set. These coincidences often feel too on the nose to dismiss. For a chosen one, these moments are more than mere happenstance. They're divine wigs, gentle nudges confirming you're on the right path. They can also serve as neon lights, illuminating what your next steps should be. That doesn't mean you'll have every answer at once. Often, the guidance unfolds in pieces, urging you to remain observant and willing to take small, faithful actions. Pay attention to your emotional reactions in these moments. Notice the excitement that blooms in your chest, or how your mind starts envisioning the future. Let this energy inspire you to dig deeper. Perhaps you'll find yourself looking up visa requirements, researching cultural norms in a new country, or reaching out to someone who has successfully made an international move. By acting on the initial sparks, you're sending a clear message to the universe. I'm willing. I'm ready. I'm open. Sometimes these signs will arrive in the form of people. You might connect with someone who effortlessly answers the questions you've been wrestling with, or you'll encounter an individual who reflects the exact career arc or lifestyle you long for, as if to show you it's attainable. Be cautious, though. Opportunities often attract naysayers who may question your ambition or belittle your dreams. Their skepticism can feel discouraging. But remember, not everyone shares your calling or understands the drive propelling you forward. Equally important is learning to discern which signs are genuine green lights versus distractions. There will be moments when multiple options present themselves, and you'll need to tune in to your intuition. Which path gives you peace when you envision stepping out to it? Which conversation leaves you feeling hopeful rather than anxious? This skill of spiritual discernment grows each time you take a leap of faith and observe how life responds. Every sign and synchronicity is part of a larger puzzle, and you only get to see the completed image by staying engaged and trusting the process. Treat each signal as a clue that points you one step closer to the destiny that's calling you from across the globe. You'll be amazed at how, over time, these seemingly random indications form a coherent roadmap. The dream that once felt impossible or too far away will start to feel downright inevitable. And that's precisely the point. What's meant for you can't help but find you, especially if you're attentive enough to say yes. Chapter 5. The Mentor Who Rises to Meet You. Just when you think you'll have to face this journey alone, someone unexpected steps in. It might be an older colleague who notices your potential, a business leader whose story resonates with your aspirations, or an online connection who reaches out with an opportunity that sounds tailor-made for you. Perhaps you cross paths with them at a conference or stumble upon their profile while browsing social media. However it happens, you feel an immediate spark of recognition. This person holds a piece of your puzzle. Chosen ones often find themselves guided by mentors at crucial junctures. These guides aren't necessarily there to give you a step-by-step map. Instead, they offer wisdom, resources, and belief in your abilities when you need it most. They might be generous with their knowledge, sharing insights on global markets, remote work strategies, or tips for adapting to a new culture. Their presence can provide a fresh sense of safety, reminding you that you don't have to navigate this chapter in isolation. At first, you might be tempted to downplay your excitement, worrying about coming across as naive or overeager. However, remember that authentic mentors appreciate genuine curiosity and passion. Ask the questions that light up your mind. Share your aspirations for this international opportunity. And don't be ashamed to admit where your knowledge gaps are. This willingness to learn sets you apart because it shows you're ready to grow, rather than clinging to the comfort of what you already know. A true mentor also encourages accountability. They'll remind you to follow up on leads, to hone your skills, and to handle practicalities like paperwork or budgeting for a potential move. But they won't do the work for you. It's up to you to commit wholeheartedly, to show that you value their investment in you by consistently taking the steps they recommend. This active engagement is how you transform passing advice into lasting opportunities. Of course, the mentee relationship isn't without challenges. Maybe you realize they have a different communication style or higher expectations than you're used to. Or they'll push you beyond your comfort zone, forcing you to confront old insecurities. This can feel intimidating, but it's often precisely what you need to break through stagnation. Embrace the discomfort because it indicates growth. When you look back on this time, you'll see how pivotal this mentor's guidance was. They might open doors to cross-border collaborations or funding sources you never knew existed. They could connect you with like-minded peers across the globe, ushering you into a network that fast-tracks your personal and professional evolution. Most of all, they'll remind you that your calling is valid and that you aren't crazy for believing you can reach beyond your current horizon. Their faith in you becomes a catalyst, amplifying your own conviction and driving you to claim what's rightfully yours. A future filled with international opportunity and unshakable fulfillment. Chapter 6. Stepping into a new reality. The decision to embrace this unexpected global opening might be settled at first. A quiet promise you make to yourself, or a message you send that sets the wheels in motion. But once you commit, everything around you begins to shift. You notice yourself standing taller, speaking with a renewed sense of purpose. You find extra motivation to refine your skills, from polishing your resume or portfolio to learning about cultural etiquette in places you might soon visit. Start imagining possibilities that once felt too big to entertain. With each small action, your confidence blooms. This isn't to say you won't have moments of doubt. You might still face an internal chorus of, "What if this fails? Blah, who am I to aim so high?" But now there's a stronger counterbalance. The knowledge that you are a chosen one, with a destiny that extends beyond your current zip code. That realization fuels you to push through late-night research sessions, early morning calls across time zones, and any hurdles that pop up unannounced. As you move forward, you'll also begin to attract resources that confirm you made the right choice. Perhaps an unexpected sum of money arrives just when you need it, or a relative offers you a place to stay while you transition into this new life. You may even see small improvements in your day-to-day routine, like a healthier mindset or better time management. These changes aren't random. They're the natural byproducts of aligning yourself with a divine plan that's always been in motion. For a chosen one, stepping into a new reality means embracing transformation on every level. Your social circle might evolve too. Some friends will champion you wholeheartedly, celebrating each milestone. Others might fade away, unable to understand your drive or feeling threatened by your evolution. This can be bittersweet, but remember that every ending paves the way for a new connection, potentially with people scattered across different continents who share your vision. Don't overlook the practical aspects: visas, contracts, travel logistics, language barriers. Facing these details head-on can feel overwhelming. Yet each form you fill out or meeting you schedule is one more stride toward establishing a solid foundation. The seriousness with which you handle these tasks broadcasts to the universe that you're not just passively waiting for a miracle, you're actively co-creating your future. Eventually, you'll realize you're living the life you once only dared to imagine. Maybe you set foot on foreign soil, or you're working remotely with an international team that ignites your creativity like never before. In these moments, take a breath and let gratitude wash over you. You'll recall how the longing for something more once felt like an ache you couldn't soothe. Now you're stepping into a reality where that longing has become momentum, propelling you across oceans, past old limitations, and into the world you were destined to explore. Chapter 7. Endless Horizons. After stepping onto this global stage, you begin to see how every chapter of your life has led you here. The childhood wonder, the crushing disappointments, the restless nights filled with longing, the mentors who believed in you. Every fragment of your past converges to shape this moment. And now you stand at the threshold of endless horizons, realizing that the world is far bigger and more interconnected than you ever imagined. A sunrise that once belonged only to your hometown now feels like an open invitation from every coastline on the planet. You wake each morning with a widened lens, sensing invisible threads that link your decisions to far-off lives you have yet to meet. This new life doesn't signal the absence of challenges. Instead, it instills a conviction that no hurdle is insurmountable. Your experiences broaden daily, communicating with international colleagues, juggling time zones while keeping relationships alive, learning foreign etiquette that turns potential awkwardness into mutual respect. You find yourself trading jokes in a language you only recently began studying, or negotiating contracts that hinge on cultural nuance rather than raw numbers. With each exchange, you watch yourself evolve into someone more courageous, resourceful, and deeply empathetic than you used to be. That empathy dissolves the stereotypes you never knew you held, creating friendships that transcend political borders and media narratives. Conversations that once hovered around weather and routine now dive into shared human hopes: safety, dignity, laughter, purpose. Your transformation ripples outward in ways both subtle and startling. Friends who once watched you with skeptical curiosity now text at odd hours, eager for advice on resurrecting dormant passions. Family members marvel at the calm confidence you radiate, noting how stress no longer seems to corrode your spirit. Even casual acquaintances feel the shift. They linger a bit longer in conversation, drawn to the possibility mirrored in your eyes. You've become living proof that stepping out in faith yields dividends no balance sheet can fully capture. Dividends denominated in self-respect, broadened vision, and the quiet thrill of witnessing another person's horizon expand because yours did first. New dreams unfurl like constellations you've only now learned to name. You imagine starting a foundation that funds cross-cultural apprenticeships or launching a platform where young innovators from disparate regions can exchange solutions in real time. Perhaps you'll curate retreats in hidden corners of the world, guiding participants to trace the spiritual geography of sacred sites. Maybe you write a book that weaves your own story with those of strangers who became family, revealing how destiny braids lives together when courage meets opportunity. Whatever shape these visions take, you sense that your journey is still in its opening movements. Each sunrise feels like a prologue, each stamped passport page a comma rather than a period. Amid the exhilaration, you cultivate quiet rituals of gratitude. On flights that chase the dateline, you jot down names of people who once doubted you, then silently thank them for sharpening your resolve. In hotel rooms that blur into one another, you pause before sleep to replay the pivotal moments when giving up seemed easier than pressing on. You recall the first yes that cracked open a series of improbable doors, and the mentors who insisted you were more capable than your fears allege. Gratitude becomes a compass, pointing you back to humility when accolades threaten to inflate your ego, and to courage when unfamiliar terrain tempts you to retreat. Being a chosen one was never about landing a single miraculous opportunity. It was about proving to yourself that consistent faith can refashion ordinary circumstances into extraordinary chapters. The unexpected international doorway was merely the spark. You are always the fire. Now, as you gaze over a mosaic of city lights from yet another unfamiliar window, you understand that each new vista is both a reward and a responsibility. Your choices echo beyond your personal story, shaping narratives for those who look to you as evidence that the improbable can be made inevitable. There is no neat bow to tie on this story because it refuses to end. The horizon keeps receding, daring you to think bigger, love wider, leap bolder, and you accept the dare because you've already proven your capacity to adapt, to create, to heal. You move forward with the practices of someone who knows that discovery and discomfort are twin flames lighting the same path. Whatever obstacles arise, logistical snags, language barriers, unexpected goodbyes, you greet them with the steady knowledge that every challenge contains coordinates to the next breakthrough. So here you stand, simultaneously rooted in self-certainty and weightless with possibility. The world stretches in all directions like an unwritten epic, and the pen rests firmly in your hand. You remember the promise whispered to your spirit long ago, that you were chosen for a life far beyond what you once believed possible. Now you live that promise aloud, crafting sentences of experience across continents and hearts. The horizon is infinite, and with every step you take toward it, you pull it closer, proving again and again that the story only widens for those brave enough to keep turning the page.